Hey everyone, it's Marla with Nerdy Mom Studios, and I'm back today. I'm so excited to talk about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. We just saw it last night. I am so excited for this movie. This is going to be a spoiler review. So if you haven't seen it and don't want to know, click out now. But if you're here, thanks so much. I'm almost at 100 subscribers, so I would appreciate if you guys could go ahead and subscribe. If I'm already at 100 subscribers when you guys see this, keep subscribing. That'd be awesome. Anyways, so let's get started. So the movie starts out with Shuri in a lab. She's trying to recreate the flower or herb that was destroyed in the first movie by Killmonger. She's trying to recreate the herb because T'Challa is sick and dying, and this herb is the only thing that can save him. But unfortunately, it's too late, and T'Challa dies. This was such an emotional way to open up the movie. It was really sad for personal reasons on my part. We get to see the funeral for T'Challa. We fast forward to 1 year later, and the Queen is at some sort of United Nations meeting. And these countries are complaining, they're upset because they're not getting any vibranium, since that's what Black Panther promised at the end of the first movie. And while this is all going on, we get shots between the United Nations meeting, and we also get shots of a Wakandan ship getting attacked by some military men who are trying to get their hands on the vibranium. The Queen is basically calling out these nations for wanting the vibranium for wrong and dangerous reasons, and she brings out some of her the military men that were attacking them. So mic drop, calling them out like these are your men taking our vibranium. Anyways, we cut to a new scene of some scientists exploring the ocean floor for vibranium. This is where we get our first look at the Atlanteans and Namor. This scene was also really chilling. They are able to hum like a hypnotic song, and they have people get hypnotized and jump off of the boat and to their death. And then we see Namor's strength um, when he stops the helicopter from leaving with the last two survivors. They can't let people know their existence, so that's why they had to kill everyone. The Americans believe the Wakandans were responsible for the attack. Now we cut to Shuri, and she's still in the lab, working on some new suits for the Dora Milaje. Shuri is still grieving from the death of her brother, and the queen asks her to go for a walk with her. They go to some sort of oceanfront type beach thing, and the queen is encouraging her to burn her funeral attire as a symbol of letting go. When all of a sudden Namor appears from the water, he tells them of a vibranium detector that someone created and needs their help to stop them from finding the vibranium underwater, as this can destroy their underwater city. He begins to explain his existence, which I thought was super cool. Turns out his tribe in the 1600s was infected by smallpox, and they discovered an herb made of vibranium and they turned it into medicine. His mother was pregnant at the time and with him and took the medicine. Everyone passes out, wakes up to not being able to breathe, so they retreat to the water and begin life underwater. He is the firstborn mutant and becomes the king of the underwater tribe. When his mother died, she asked him to bury her on her land where she came from. And when they come back to the land, he hates what he sees man has become, and that's where his vengeance begins. So basically, he asks them for help finding the one person who built the detector. The queen sends Okoye to find the person who made it, and Okoye asks to take Shuri with her and promises to keep her safe. Shuri and Okoye set out to the States to find the person who built it, and they find their CIA friend, aka the colonizer, which is Agent Ross, and he tells them where to find her, Riri Williams, aka Ironheart. She is a 19-year-old college student who made the detector for a school project, but she didn't know the teacher sold it. And anyways, the CIA is onto Shuri and Okoye trying to take Riri back to Wakanda, so they start a chase with them. This is when we get the first look at Ironheart's suit. Shuri and Riri end up getting knocked out, and Okoye gets her first encounter with the Atlanteans. She begins her fight scene, which is so cool. I really loved how they didn't have any fight music or background music, which really showed the depth and seriousness of the threat that the Atlanteans have. She ends up getting knocked out into the water, and they take Shuri and Riri with them to see Namor upon Shuri's request. We then see a scene with the CIA at the scene of the fight trying to piece together what happened. And Agent Ross asks who's looking for Riri, and turns out Val, I don't know if you guys remember her, Valentina from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Hawkeye. She turns out she was the one looking for the vibranium, and she was also married to Agent Ross. With they're divorced now, but pretty weird. We cut to Wakanda, and Okoye gets back home empty-handed without Shuri, and the queen is obviously very upset because she was supposed to take care of Shuri. She strips Okoye of her military service, which was so sad to see Okoye's reaction. Back in the ocean, Namor shows Shuri his home, Talokan. I hope I'm saying that right. It seems they have bonded, but he still insists that the Wakandans help fight his war. Back in Wakanda, the queen enlists the help of Nakia, who now lives in Haiti. She asks her to find Shuri, which she does, and ends up bringing her and Riri out of Talokan. Shuri is back in the lab now, and Okoye and Nakia are in town. Riri is speaking with the queen when Namor floods the city of Wakanda. His final attack was on the queen and floods her in the room that she and Riri were in. The queen's final moment is saving Riri from drowning, and she sacrifices herself to save her. This was so heartbreaking to watch. Letitia Wright did such a great job with the emotions in this movie, which made it even more sad, knowing that they as a cast were already mourning the death of Chadwick Boseman. So makes sense that you see these emotions are so real. Anyways, they end up moving to Wakanda up to M'Baku's village in the snowy mountains. There, Shuri is working on the herb that helps them turn into the Black Panther, and Riri is making a new suit. Shuri takes the herb drink she made to become the Black Panther, and it takes her to the ancestral plane where she expects to see her mom or T'Challa, but instead she gets Eric Killmonger. There, he basically points out how she needs to decide if she's becoming Black Panther to be noble like her brother or out of vengeance like him. She snaps out of it, and they prepare for battle. Then we cut to the ship, and they lure the Atlanteans out for battle. This scene was super pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Seeing Shuri as the Black Panther, her moves were really great. And Shuri gave an Okoye a new suit called the Midnight Angel. We see Ironheart in her new suit, Nakia and M'Baku. Shuri was able to lure Namor into a plane that will dry him out, and they end up crashing into a desert-like island and have their final battle there. Namor looks like he's about to win, but stabs Shuri with the spear. Shuri is about to lose, but she gets a flashbacks to Talokan and Wakanda and sees the similarities of Namor losing his family and Shuri losing hers, and sees that they are both consumed with vengeance. So she pushes through and ends up getting Namor at his weakest, since he needs water, and makes a bargain to spare his life as long as they leave and never come back. He yields, and they return to the ship together. Namor calls his people home. The Wakandans now are fixing their home. Shuri sees Riri off, and Wanku makes a challenge to become the new king of Wakanda. We also see Okoye save Agent Ross from a prison vehicle because he was arrested for tipping off the Wakandans while the CIA were investigating them. And we see Shuri visiting Nakia in Haiti. There, Shuri has a moment to herself, no music, just flashbacks of T'Challa, which was so sad. I really love how they don't use any music during these moments because it really brings out the emotions. The movie ends here. Then we get a mid credit scene with Nakia bringing her son, who is T'Challa's son. She said he asked her to keep him there so she didn't have to worry about the stress of the throne. It was a sweet moment. Now, that was the end of the movie. This, to me, was an awesome movie. I really enjoyed it. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did, and I didn't think I would like Shuri as the Black Panther, but I think she did great. She did have some corny lines here and there, but overall, not bad. I love Nakia and Okoye. I wish we got a little bit more with Okoye and M'Baku. The Queen did amazing, very powerful acting by Angela Bassett. Now, Riri Williams wasn't terrible, but I can't say I'm a fan yet. They really made her out to be like Spider Man. She also attends MIT, so I can definitely see this somehow connecting later in the future. Her suit to me looked like a Power Ranger suit, so to me, I wasn't a fan. And Okoye's new suit, the Midnight Angel suit, just reminded me a lot of like the Predator outfits, but just really colorful. I like Nakia's suit a lot, and Shuri's Black Panther suit was pretty cool. Namor was absolutely hands down my favorite character. He was awesome, and his two main fighters, um, they were really great supporting actors, and they had some really great fight sequences. I think I would have to give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. I still can't decide if I like this better than the first. The first was great because of Chadwick Boseman as the Black Panther, but this was also great because of the villain. Each had their own strengths and weaknesses, but I think I'll have to make a movie ranking for the MCU to see how I would rank these. This is probably the best Phase 4 movie, but it's a toss up between No Way Home and Wakanda Forever for me. Now, there were some unanswered questions like why was Val looking for vibranium? But we do know she is getting the Thunderbolt team together, and we are going to have a Thunderbolt movie. So we should get some answers then. I also want to see what's happening with Agent Ross, but he is also teased to be in Secret Invasion, so I'm sure it's going to be answered there. I also wonder, will Shuri stay as a new Black Panther movie forward? Now, one thing I do want to point out is I'm not a comic book reader, but I was curious about the new suit for Okoye, the Midnight Angel, and I Googled it, and it says that the Midnight Angels aid Deadpool in taking down Doctor Doom. So maybe a little tease, since we know Secret Wars, Doctor Doom will be the main villain in that movie. Now, we also have Ironheart's introduction to the MCU, and we know she's getting her own show, but I can't say I'm too excited for it after watching Black Panther. I had no idea who she was before the movie, so my excitement wasn't high to begin with. Well, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for sticking around, and I hope you like and subscribe. I'm almost at 100 subscribers, which is so exciting. So please subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the movie, how you would rank it for Phase 4 and the MCU. Thanks so much for watching, guys.